me and Brother Rich, say shalom, Brother Rich.
Shalom.
We are having a talk as we're going to town. We're talking about a bunch of things, institutionalized Christianity, and especially this marriage license stuff. Listen, you can go out and y'all can do whatever you want, but I'm telling you right now, if you get, how did George Gordon put it? He says the marriage license is one of the most expensive and binding contracts that there is in life. Didn't he say that?
Yes, he did.
And I'm telling you, think about it. You can be married, but don't go get the state's license. You do that, you're going to bind yourself up to probate. You're going to mess yourself up royally. Think about it. Did George Washington have a marriage license? No. Moses? Any of these founding fathers? No. The marriage license came into being because of miscegenation. They didn't want the slaves and the white woman marrying. They didn't want that. So what they did, I still don't understand that they just regulated. They charged people to get married through the marriage license. Then they found out that there's big money in marriage. And so the state, anytime it can make a nickel or dime, they just made it, I don't know how I guess what they did, they tied it to their system. So that if you're not married after them, then you don't get certain benefits. What say you?
Well, yeah. The inducements that they have is you have things like tax write-offs and things like that. But the thing people need to do is they need to really weigh out the pros and cons of whether or not that's to their advantage. To me, getting a $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 tax write-off or $6,000 or whatever, I think it's going to be like $13,000 next year for a couple. Obtaining that as a possible deduction for this year and next year and year after that isn't worth $500,000 in a state, which is going to be up for grabs during a dissolution process. It takes an average of about 15 years for an average man to recover from a divorce in this country financially.
Dang.
When he gets divorced, he is financially ruined for about the next 15 years. People say, well, you need to get a prenuptial agreement, things like that, but those are routinely thrown out in family law cases and really are not really worth the paper they're written on, because a judge can use his own discretion as to whether or not he's going to allow that to stand.
Yeah, they'll probably say it's unfair to the woman, huh?
Sure, yeah, the woman is being pressured or coerced into signing some type of an agreement based upon her love and affection is being exploited and manipulated at the outset. There's all kinds of reasons why they're going to come up with why they're going to throw these kinds of things out. So yeah, the best thing to do is to seriously
draw up your own contract, make an agreement.
Yeah, and if you're gonna involve the state, you need to go in with your eyes wide open and know what the potential outcomes could be whenever you're forming a third-party limited general partnership with the state. Matter of fact, you better get a super king bed at the hotel for your honeymoon to invite the judge, the court clerk, and the 2 attorneys and other agencies that are going to be involved in your life.
That polygamous
for the
relationship.
Next 30 years.
Yeah.
Exactly. So anyway, make sure you get a big bed. It's going to be a big party because you are marrying more than one individual.
Now, see, that's wisdom right there. And people don't get it because we're so, matter of fact, Brother Rich just used another word here this morning, institutionalized. Some people out there are so institutionalized you can't even imagine thinking for yourself and functioning outside the box. If I give out this information right here, I'm only doing it for your advantage, your gain. Because if you anytime you tie up anything with the state or the government of this world, you making agreements with them, you are messing yourself up royally. Just consider what I say. But if you want to, hey, go out there. If it makes you happy, if it's for you, then go do it. And somebody asked me if I got a marriage. Yeah, I got a marriage license. Sure did. Got one over 33, 34 years ago. I don't think Sister Carol is going to go. I don't think she's going to do it. Matter of fact, she's not even that kind of woman, is she?
Absolutely not.
She ain't going away, is she?
No, she's not going anywhere.
It's just,
were they all like her?
Yeah. Isn't that amazing? And so, it's sickening what's going on today. You save yourself, because this system is not for you. Be you a male or female, is not for you. It really ain't. And man, the value of a woman, boy, by the time she gets about 45 years old, man, her stock is plummeting, isn't it?
Oh, sure. Men are interested in building their empires.
Yeah.
They're interested in having children.
Mm-hmm.
They're interested in having their seed continue on in the generations down the road. They also want that done with economic stability, as well as spiritual and physical stabilities that are provided through proper instructions and following after certain moral codes.
Mm-hmm.
That is how a man decides to build his life and his kingdom, and in a hope that that would continue on into a legacy behind him. And he's not interested in having too many other outside forces bringing pressure and influence on the decisions that he should be making freely.
That's right.
As a man who is created in the image of Yah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I hope that these sayings are sinking deep down in your heart. At least they do. Or at least it does give you an opportunity to have another way presented to you besides the regular old dog and pony show circus that is constantly being submitted to your minds over and over again. People trying to make you think that there's no other way to do it when they only present to you that one way, and that's the only option you got. I mean, you'll take it if you're not an independent thinker. Use some self-autonomy. Use it and live by it, and you'll find yourself more free. And mind you, where the state don't have no jurisdiction, they can't regulate you. They can't regulate you. So learn and know what you're doing. There are people out here every day that are opting out of marriage with the state and just what they call so-called living together. But like I said, I think it's the 9th Amendment. It gives you the right to contract. You can make contracts and agreements and stuff, and it's binding according to the Constitution. So anyway, consider what we say. Hope you have a wonderful day.